Liseberg is a spectacular amusement park located in the heart of Gothenburg, Sweden. It is home to 7 different roller coasters and really one of the most balanced collections there is in Europe. I can think of many theme parks on the continent that have more than 7 coasters but don't have nearly as good of a lineup. At Liseberg, I feel that each of these attractions really serve their place. Now, for those of you familiar with the park, how I order these roller coasters shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. But I still wanted to take this time to talk about these rides because they are tons of fun and I have some strong opinions about many of them. So let's get things started with Liseberg's smallest roller coaster. At number 7 is Lisebergbanan, opened in 2013. This is one of the tiniest coasters I've ever seen, as it's made up of a small 10-foot lift hill and a tight downwards helix. That's it. There's not a whole lot to say about it, but it does get the job done and gives this park a roller coaster that the kids will be able to enjoy. Number 6, Liseberg, opened in 2009. I think this is a great option for kids who want to work their way up to the bigger rides because it's still quite small but packs in a lot more thrills than Lisebergbanan. Even as an adult, I rode Liseberg and thought it was good fun with its twisty layout and smooth track work. Zero did a great job with this nice small-scale family coaster. Number 5, Luna, opened in 2023. Vekoma family boomerang coasters have taken Europe by storm. These things have really exploded in popularity this past decade. And I'll tell you, I'm not mad at it at all. I really like these rides. Luna in particular is the tallest one of these ever built, standing an impressive 110 feet tall. That comes in the form of a spike which sends riders through the layout in reverse. It's a great option for all members of the family as it's incredibly smooth and fun for what it is. But here's where I think the list really begins, because at number 4 is Lisebergbanan, opened in 1987. This is one of the most underrated roller coasters I've experienced in Europe. It's still technically a family coaster, but really 150 feet tall at 50 miles per hour means it packs in plenty enough of thrills for all sorts of audiences. Interestingly, the ride was designed by Schwarzkopf, but because they went under during its production, was finished by Zier, making it an attraction that features the best of both companies. It's generally a very smooth ride despite its age, and I love how the layout interacts with the terrain, especially in this Rose Bowl section where there's 3 big drops parallel with one another swooping down the same hill. It's really such a good ride and was actually close to ranking a spot higher, above the first of a few thrill coasters we'll be talking about. But first, if you've been enjoying the video, I invite you to go check out my new merchandise store where you can buy a Coaster Dash t-shirt, hoodie, and more. Thank you for the support, and let's dive into Liseberg's awesome top 3, starting with Valkyria, opened in 2018. One of B&M's most popular coaster models these days is the dive coaster, and there's really 2 types of these that exist. There's the big dive coasters, which focus on massive vertical drops in speed, and the mini dive coasters, which revolve around tighter elements and inversions with quicker pacing. The latter is what Valkyria is like. Now don't get me wrong, it's still got a great first drop, but in my opinion, the rapid-fire nature of this coaster with no interruption of a mid-course brake run is the true highlight. I can also appreciate the beautiful appearance and theming of this ride, which is a notch above most dive coasters out there. Valkyria was a great addition in 2018 because though it looks intimidating, its forces are easily more graceful than the other 2 big coasters in the park. Number 2, Balder, opened in 2003. Intamin have built 4 prefabricated wooden coasters around the world, and though Balder is the smallest, it's definitely not the weakest. If you ask me, Balder's compact elements are a lot stronger than something like Colossus at Haida Park, which meanders for a good chunk of the ride. It's a very simple layout with hills, turns, and more hills, but I really think execution was done brilliantly. Not only is it likely the smoothest wooden coaster I've ever been on, but Balder's airtime is obscenely powerful and easily the strongest in the park. I love that feeling of being launched out of your seat over and over again as if you were on a bucking bronco. It's the coaster I'd choose to re-ride over any other at Liseberg, and that should say a thing or two about how fun this thing is. With that being said, I decided to give the gold medal to Helix, opened in 2014. Now I went back and forth between Balder and Helix, but ultimately sided with the latter because it has so much more variety. As a matter of fact, it has some of the best variety of any roller coaster in Europe. Sure, there's some things about it I wish were a little stronger. The launches are weak, and the forces in some spots are a bit tame, but Helix is such a long ride experience with some incredible highlights. For example, the biggest deciding factor as to why I gave it number 1 was its camelbacks, filled with exceptional ejector airtime. I know I said Balder had the best airtime in the park, and I do stand by that, but it's the fact that Helix has a few comparable moments on top of its 7 diverse inversions and solid pacing. Plus, the setting and terrain interaction is the best of any attraction at Liseberg, and one of the best I've seen anywhere. I think given the obstacles and limitations, Mock Rides came up with an extremely enjoyable roller coaster that ranks towards the top in Europe. So with that, let me know how you rank Liseberg's coasters, or if you haven't visited, which ones are on your bucket list. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave it a like and subscribe to Coaster Dash for more content like this in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye guys.